I'm celebrating a client who just had her very first $15,000 month in September. And at the time of recording this episode, it's not even the end of the month yet. There's still like 5 or so more days. So anything could happen. So I want to break down how this happened because she sent me a message breaking down in July or June, I think it was July, she made $4,000, which is great. Like that's more than paying her mortgage. It's more than paying groceries. It's letting her and her husband go out once a week to their favorite restaurant for date night. But it's, she knows she could do more, right? Like she's like, okay, these clients are amazing, but like I'm comfortable. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not stressed. I can hold more clients. I can have more impact. I want a challenge. I want to have so many clients in my roster that I'm like celebrating a win every single day because of how they move. Like her energy completely changes when she gets on a call with her client. And so she knows the more clients she has in her roster, the more high energy she'll be, the more lit up she'll be, the more energized she'll be, and the more fun she'll have. It's like more is more, right? Like bring it on, baby. Foot on the gas pedal. Let's frickin' go. We're gonna fly. We're gonna soar. That kind of energy. So when she came to me in July, $4,000 a month. Okay, cool. But let's do more. I was like, let's do it. And now we're celebrating a $15,000 month. And I know this is just the beginning for her. Because quarter four, the last couple of months in a year are historically when people are investing the most. This is when your sales can triple, 10x, quadruple. Like this is when your sales can really go through the roof. Anything can happen. Like set your expectations and prepare for them to be broken because this is where people really blow up. It's blow up season. So I know that $15,000 month that's going to be her new low. Next month is the $30,000 month. November, during Black Friday, maybe she'll hit 50 or 70. And maybe she'll have her first $100,000 month before the end of the year. How amazing would that be? Right? So I want to break down exactly what we did to get her to this moment. And it started with her decision to invest in herself. Because yes, I did amazing. I did a lot of work. I helped her with her positioning. I helped her with her brand story. I helped her with her messaging. And we were really, really strategic. Like every single piece of content, we're workshopping back and forth to make it as strong as possible. But none of that would have been possible if she didn't say yes to herself. She had been watching me for a while. In her message, she said, "Oh, I cannot believe that I sat on my ass for so long and waited to invest in you." Like if she invested in me sooner, maybe she would have had that $15,000 month in July. Who knows? But she ultimately did say yes. She joined private mentorship with me. And right off the bat, I knew she was going to be successful by the way that she moved. She was not the sort of client that asked a question and we went back and forth on a call and then she's just sat with it. Like I gave her all the things she should do, that she should work on. And then the next time we were on a call, she asked the same question again. She didn't do anything that we worked on. That was not who she is. She did not sit on the couch twiddling her thumbs. She did not let low views slow her down. She did not let uh, engagement trip her up. She did not let no one clicking the link for her program make her slow down. Like nothing was slowing her down. She was like, okay, next. Like Ariana Grande song. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. Like she just took everything with stride and was like, okay, that's fine. We pick ourselves back up again. We try again. And we try again. We try again. We try again until we figure out something that works. And that kind of movement is really what creates winners. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. She, on our calls, would be like, here's what I want to do. Here are my goals. Help me get there. And we'd break down the strategy. She'd be like, okay, cool. An hour later, she'd be like, I did it. What can I do now? And then we'd be like, okay, well, let's do some outreach. Let's do some community building. Let's do some collabs and live streams with other people to expand your following. And then she'd be like, okay, I booked 3. Now what? And she just kept going and going and going. And that kind of client is one that I love to work with because we move so fast together. Our energies are just symbiotic, feeding off of each other. I'm like, yes, let's do more. So step 1 really started with her. It was her decision to say yes, to jump in, to go all in, to not let anything slow her down. She didn't care about views. She didn't care about how many people were looking at her sales page and not buying. She wasn't watching who was even watching her stories. Really didn't care. What she did was she continued to show up, continued to post, continued to believe in her story and plug into mentorship. So that was step 1. Step 2, the very first thing that I do with all of my clients, whether you're a private client or you're in the story selling accelerator, is we build out your story bank. Your story bank is this like vault of micro stories that show you in true embodiment as a leader in your craft. So it's your own personal experiences of how you led yourself through a problem that you solve for clients. It's client experiences. It's conversations that you have with people in the DMs. It's little life moments that show your values, that show you who you are, that show your brand story and who you are, and why you're even doing this, why you're even taking the time and effort to show up every single day to create content, because God knows that's not easy. But she's doing it anyways. You're doing it anyways. So that's your story bank. And the reason why I like to do this with my clients instead of just giving them a training, because, right, like people will tell you if you say the same thing over and over and over again on a call, you should just make it an automated training that you send out as a video. But I can't do that. I do have a story bank training that you will get when you sign on to work with me. So you can like watch it, get an understanding of what a story bank is, get an understanding of how to source your own story banks. But there will always be stories that you miss in those mundane moments where you're like, well, this isn't very exciting. I talk about this on every single client call. But my expertise is showing you how to use those really quote unquote boring throwaway moments as money making opportunities for your content. So I really like talking to my clients and asking them what it's like to work with you and what what happens on client calls and like stuff like that. Because I've had clients say, oh, I only got 150 people in my masterclass. I'm like, excuse me, only 150 people in a masterclass is incredible. But they weren't sharing that because they didn't think they were good enough. So I guarantee you there are things you're sitting on. Maybe it's not a 150 person masterclass, but maybe it was your first sale. Maybe it was your first client that you're kind of embarrassed of. But we can frame it in a way that's going to really make you stand out. So that's step 2, building out your story bank. That's one that I love. I really get to know you during this phase because we go in deep together. You tell me about your life, you tell me about your goals, you tell me about your clients and what it's like to work with you. It's so much fun. Step 3 is we begin working on your positioning. So this is what you want to be known for. The number one transformation that you want to be known for in your industry. I can guarantee you you could probably name 3 to 5 different industry leaders and tell me what they're known for. Bridget James Ling is known for creating movements and Freedom Queen Live. Hannah Rose Cluey, I don't know if that's how you say her name, but she's known for her tapping method, right? Like you can name all of these different industry leaders and tell me what they're known for. So what do you want to be known for? And the number one problem that many of my clients have, and this particular client had, is that they want to be known for so many things. So what I help you do is I help you position your story, your brand story, so that it's kind of like an umbrella that covers everything that you do. Because we all know how hard it is to wrap up the magic that you do in your work into like one I help statement. It's so hard. That's why we don't do that. That's why we're not wrapping up into one sentence. We're just having an umbrella that covers everything that you do. So I helped her really name that number one overall transformation. And we sorted out her offers so that her offers were also in alignment with this positioning. We crafted her brand story so her brand story also supported this messaging. And then we also, with the micro stories, worked out like the little micro instances of transformations that she supports her clients with as well. But what this positioning does, this legacy positioning as I call it, does is it helps you become known for your work, right? You're not just another business coach, mindset coach, social media manager, virtual assistant, bookkeeper, CFO. You are known for what you do. You're known for your work. You're known for your method. You're known for your framework. You're known for your story. Even if people don't know your name, they'll be like, oh, that's so and so. And she started her business because she was homeless and then worked in her friend's basement giving teachers social media advice. And now look at who she is now, right? Like people might not even know your name, but they recognize your face and they recognize what you know, what you're known for. And that's the goal. That's how you turn your $4,000 months into $15,000 months and counting. That's the difference between someone hopping into your DMs because they saw your post and trying to sell to you because they think you're just another person, and someone seeing your post, hopping into your DMs and being like, I just found you, but I have to work with you. You have been what I've been looking for. I've been journaling about this and I couldn't find anyone who understood exactly what I'm going through until I found you. So I don't even care how much your offer is. I'm buying. Here's my credit card. So that's your legacy positioning. That's so important. And people will tell you, oh, it really doesn't matter. Just show up and post. But it does. It really does. And don't worry, it's not going to bind you for life. This is not like a soul blood. You have to like sign the contract in blood. This is just your microphone that you're like, here's what I'm known for. So when you pitch yourself to be on podcast episodes, that's your pitch. When you are being invited to speak on stages at huge events like Living Brave or Freedom Queen Live, that's your pitch. Because your like listicle post of three ways to reset your nervous system isn't going to get you speaking on stages and guest speaking on podcasts. It's this legacy positioning story. All right, so let's see. That was number 3. Number 4 is now we have to fix your messaging. Who are you actually speaking to? And a really big one for my clients is they're still in this convincing energy of here's why you need to work with me. And if you're still on the fence, like blah, blah, blah. And like they're speaking to people in the research space. They're educating. They're giving so much value. And they're like, see, I know what I'm talking about, instead of people in the buying phase. And when you write content and your messaging and like when your sales content is aligned with this, your in-feed posts are in line with this, your visibility posts are in line with this, then you switch from trying to like educate and show people how much you know and convince them to, I already know that you need this. I already know that you need this. I already know that you have been looking to invest in a solution for this. You have been looking at my profile before. You've also maybe looked at my competitor's profile. And here's exactly why you need me. So the type of content that you share shifts. And this is why story selling content is so important for this shift in who you're talking to, because now you get to show your excellence through case studies, through micro stories that show your audience that you get results. Whether that's your own personal story of like, look, you have this problem. Here's what I did when I had this problem, and here's the result that I got. Or it's through client stories of like, my client was experiencing this limiting belief, and here's how we managed it on our call this week, and now she just got this result, right? So when you know who you're speaking to, and this goes so deep, I have an entire course on it called Main Character Messaging, where I show you how to, like, you are not the main character of your content. You can show up with main character confidence and leadership confidence, but truly the main character is the reader, the viewer of your content. So you need to know what they're doing on a daily basis. When they wake up in the morning, what's their immediate thought? Are they going to their Instagram to check to see if their post blew up overnight and then getting sad when it didn't and then stalking someone else's profile, seeing what they did wrong? Are they skipping breakfast and just taking a banana and a black coffee because they're on a diet and they think that skipping calories in the morning is going to help them? You need to know these things about your dream clients, because that's how we create really specific content that calls them out. Like, I just had someone in my DMs. She's brand new. She just followed me from my Filthy Rich Kid story series. And she's like, I'm an oversharer. I'm going to dump my story for you. And I'm curious to see how you could help me. And um, she just inquired. She gave me the story, and she was like, I'm going to be honest, like, she was a somatic coach and like a mindset coach, and like a self-love coach. She has a book, and she was like in a past relationship. In past relationships, I realized I'm a hoe. I was like, no stigma. Like, I don't know if you embrace that or not, but a really good post is if you've looked in the mirror today and thought, why am I such a hoe? Then you need my book. Then you need my offer. Then you need to listen up, because those micro stories are going to, one, show your personality, two, tie in your story, that brand story that we talked about in part two and step two of this podcast. And three, it's also going to call in the people that are in the exact same position and are like, that's me. Help me. I want to feel different about myself. How do I do that? It seems like you have experience in this. It seems like you help other people with this. Sign me the F up for your offer, right? So who are you speaking to? What are they experiencing? Really, who's the main character of your content? What phase are they in? What buyer personalities do they have? What stories do you have that support them and their questions and their objections and beliefs that they need to shift? All of these things are things that we thought about for this specific client. And then lastly, we started posting content like crazy. We were posting content every single day. We were mixing it up. We were testing out series. We were testing out really fun reels that she was like, who am I to post this reel? And I'm like, the audacity, queen. Like, we're going to show up and post it anyways. We were selling on stories every single day. We were, cross-posting to TikTok and YouTube and sharing really fun opinions on threads. Like, she ramped up the way she showed up on social media. And I'll be honest, it did not take her more time. Like, maybe some days it took her a little bit more time, but instead of all of this energy she spent in looking for the answers in other people's content, looking for trends, looking for the perfect hook to post, she took that time that she used to spend doing that and she poured it into creating content. But because she already had a story bank that we put together, because she already knew her legacy positioning, because she already knew exactly who she was talking to, content came so easy. She was just like, okay, here's the problem I'm going to talk about today. Here's a story that I have to back it up. Here's a little belief shift that my clients need, packaged up in a content, and boom, I posted it. Now I'm going to cross-post it on TikTok, cross-post it on YouTube, and I'm going to summarize it in a thread that's a little spicy and it's going to get my name out there. Boom. Like, she wasn't overcomplicating things. She wasn't like, how I don't speak in hooks. How do I show up? She was just like, yeah, I'm just going to put it out there. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And then what we did was, because she was not a perfectionist and she wasn't spending hours thinking about what to post, we were able to take all that data and double down on what worked. We got to see what I call read her audience and learn what her audience responded to. We figured out that they actually love to be called out. They love her hot takes, the big sister love personality of like, I'm going to call you out on your bullshit and I'm going to show you how to fix it. That kind of personality people loved. So we like got rid of the other posts that were more nice girl and we focused on those. And then we figured out that people loved when she shared this particular story about her own journey. So we doubled down on that. We started doing that every single week and doing it in different ways and layering it into her posts. And because we had that data and we were willing to look at the numbers, not in a way that's saying we're like good enough or not, but like for science, we were able to double down, and she was able to grow, and she was able to create content over and over and over again that she already knew that her audience were going to eat up, right? And it was because of all this approach. Like, this is the storytelling method. This is what the storytelling accelerator is all about. This is what I do with my clients. Like, it works every single freaking time. It works so well that that's why I made a whole program about it, because it works. It works for me. It works for my clients. I got my client from $4,000 to $15,000 and counting. She's probably going to be at 100K in no time. So if you're like, I've been posting forever, and yes, I have some clients, I love them, but I want more. I want more volume. I want more excitement. I want more challenges. I want to wake up and see new clients buying my passive offers. I want more clients coming into my programs because I love one-on-one. I love working with people. I love getting to know them. I love having impact on them. I just want more. I want a challenge. I want to get my name out there. Then you need to be inside the Story Selling Accelerator, period. Because this is the work that I do every single week with my clients inside that program. When you sign on, you and I hop on an onboarding call and we map out your story bank. Then inside the program, you have access to that course, Main Character Messaging, that I was referencing in step 3 that my client took, of really truly understanding who you are speaking to and who's right for your offers. You have access to that course. It's $997 normally. You also have access to my storytelling framework method, like a training course of where I break down how to structure your content and like what you should be posting and the different types of content you should be posting. You get access to behind the scenes trainings. Basically every training that I've done is inside this program. This vault is huge, and you can see a whole list of them on the sales page for the Storytelling Accelerator. Not only that, not only do you get to hop on an onboarding call where we map out your story bank together, you get all these trainings, but every single week you get to submit your content for feedback. This is where we grow fast. If you are anything like this client and you're like, when you give me feedback, I instantly act on it and then I post and I say, what's next? This is where you're going to thrive. Because every single week I open up a content audit thread where you can put content that you're planning for next week or whatever, or if you just want feedback on your post that you did last week. This is where I will give you, I do voice note responses. So one of my clients inside sent me 3 posts for this week, and I sent her back a 10-minute audio post, or not post, voice note. And I also sent her back the Cliff Note version of like written questions that I wanted her to think about. I do this every single week for every single one of my clients. Every single week. So imagine how fast you're gonna get better at creating content. You're gonna build that muscle, and it's gonna be like, oh, like if content creation takes you a while now, just wait. You're gonna get really freaking good at it. That's my goal. Not only that, but I also do Q&As each week. So if you have a specific question about a strategy, or like you feel like your visibility is down, how do I fix that? Like, those are some questions you can ask and I will riff on them. And then in addition to that, bi-weekly, so every other week we get on a hot seat strategy call where we look at your content, look at what's working, what's not working, and we map out a game plan of exactly what you need to be doing to see the results that you want. There's no losing in this offer. If you are willing to show up every single day and actually engage with the offer and ask for help and use the mentorship provided, you will win. Just like my client who went from a $4,000 month to a $15,000 month in how many months? July, August, 3 months, 2 months, if we're not counting July. Insanity. But it's just it's the norm inside my world. This is what we do. So if you're like, hell yeah, I'm next, you're going to be creating a podcast episode about me, Hannah. Just you wait. I'm so excited. And I want you to go to my DMs and send me a message. Or if you don't even want to send me a message and you're just like, I'm going to find the link, and I'm going to just sign up and I'm going to surprise you and be like, hello, here I am. Then I'll post a link below. But if you want to chat back and forth a little bit to see if this is the right fit for you, if I can really help you, then send me a DM on Instagram. I'm happy to answer your questions. I also have discovery calls that are free for anyone who wants to jump on and be like, here's where I'm at with my business. Would this be a good fit for me? I'm completely honest and I'll tell you exactly what you need, whether that's my program or not. So if that's where you are, schedule a discovery call, hop in my DMs and have a conversation with me. I do not bite. And if you're like, I don't need you, Hannah, I'm just gonna sneak in, I'm gonna find the link, I'm gonna hit pay, and I'm gonna like be surprised, I'm in the offer now, then I cannot wait to see you surprise me, girlfriend, and I'm so excited for our next moves together. I'll see you next time. Keep showing up, keep sharing stories, because you will be filthy rich with story in no time.